Hello, Flosstube. Elizabeth Martinez, phantastitches, back here again. It's the Saturday after Thanksgiving, the 24th, 3rd, 4th, I don't know, November, Saturday, this says 24th, Saturday, November 24th. Welcome back to my subscribers, and welcome to those who have found this channel for the first time. We're here to talk about cross stitching. I still, well, I'm working on my Christmas things still. And I made some progress on some of them, and others I've not worked on yet. So, but they're in there to be worked on. A couple of things, I guess, excuse me, went on during this week. I just continued working on the tomato dame project that I've been working on. And I did spend some time working on my older sister's Christmas gift thing, which is going to be the Six Fat Men, one of the Six Fat Men snowmen pieces from Lizzie Kate. And so I did work on that. Some of that I have been working on since Thanksgiving. But I had to go get some floss for some other potential Christmas projects if I get to them. I hope to get to them. And so while I was, and I went to Joann's to exchange. I have a purse that has like the plastic bamboo handles, little short handles, and then like a longer shoulder strap kind of handle. And I haven't used my purse, that little purse, since since before my brain surgery. So that was what, 3 years ago, 2 years ago, 2 years ago. Yeah, almost 3 years ago. Because it was actually was we had gone, my sister and I, my younger sister and I had gone to a concert, and I took that purse with me, and I somewhere along the line I lost this little screw post that connects it together, and I couldn't find the screw anywhere, where we were, and so I set it aside, thinking, well, someday I'll find a screw to go in it, or a new set of handles or whatever, and I thought I had found them the other day when I was at Joann's, it was some time ago. And I kind of guesstimated. I thought, well, that looks about the right size to go home. It was not the right size. They were just a hair too big, and they wouldn't fit my purse. And so I had to take them back. And so while I was there, of course, I didn't buy anything to work on. I didn't buy any projects or anything, but I did buy the latest issue of Cross Stitch Crazy magazine. So I think I'm going to end up just getting a subscription to it, just because it's not that I want to stitch everything that's in them or whatever, or anything like that, but I might use some of the little motifs that come with it, that are in it, and they usually have a lot of great ideas and all that, and designs, and sometimes you can use something that you find in there. You can use it for something, right? Like they have this pictures of different ways that you can use some of these designs for ornaments, or embellish gifts or whatever, cards. So anyway, I bought this, and it came with these little the free item that came with it were these little tags. They're sort of little, robins, but they're quick stitches, so and they're tiny, so you can put them on these little pieces of Ada. And it comes with, it's a kit. So it comes with some Ada and ribbon and the floss, whatever, to do them. So, you can use these little tags. And so, if I have time, I might do some of those, or at least, whatever. So anyway, I did work on Tomato Dame, my Tomato Dame project. This is Plum Street Samplers. So this is how far I've gotten. I added this other piece of the vine here. I did this crow so I could do the rest of the vine. And I finished the big tomato. I finished it, and there's some small tomatoes that I did, and I'm working on one right here. I just started one right here. I did part of the flag. It's not finished yet. I didn't do the lettering here, and there's wheels that go in this wagon right here, and then there's a woman that goes right in this area here, and another crow. And I want to say the 1/1 sections on these birds, and it's gonna go on this little sign that the woman is carrying. 1/1 is really hard, at least on this fabric, certainly. And one of these crows, which one was it? I must have pulled it out and restarted it, 2 or 3 times. So I was doing the 1/1 section, and then that's not right. And so I pulled it out, and then I did it again. It's still not right. Part of it was actually I made a mistake on the 1/2 section, and one issue was I made a counting mistake, and I had done all the 1/1 stuff, and everything was right, and then I realized that it was half a stitch too high, because the X's that would have gone underneath it. Sorry, I don't know if you could hear that or not, but my sister's dog was barking at something. But anyway, but the X's that were in his body here if I had finished it, would have been 3. Would have been a 1/3 or something like that. It was wrong, and the only way to really fix it was to take it all out again. So I decided that the only good way to do the 1/1 sections is to have really, really, really good light, to be wide awake, not too tired, and so that I can concentrate on getting it right. I still haven't done the little eyes. They're little blind crows right now. They don't have any eyes. And we'll see how that works. But yeah, so I'm working on these, on this little by little. I'm getting there. But I took a break, as I said, for Thanksgiving, because I was going over. We had Thanksgiving at my younger sister's house, and her daughter, my niece, is who the Tomato Dame project is for. So of course I didn't want her to see it. But I was going to be there for a long time, because we actually bought our dinner for Thanksgiving from Boston Market, and we just had to reheat everything. It was really good. It was a whole turkey and enough sides and stuff. I guess we ordered some additional sides because there were 12 people there. And anyway, so I knew I was going to be there for a while, and my older sister dropped me off, and excuse me, and So I had some downtime there, so of course I took my cross stitching. And since I was going to be at my younger sister's house, I took my older sister's gift project here, and those I posted this on the Friday Off the Grid group, and but oops, um, this is the progress that I made, which is pretty good. I put in this snow fun, the wording here, and I'm working on the snow underneath here. Everything else, the snowman and sled was done before, but I had not done this part here. And I still have to put in his arms, and there's another armor here that has to go there, and his buttons and his eyes. And then there's a couple of trees over here, and some random little snowflakes, and he has a snowflake button that goes here. I have to remember to put that in. And then there's a little border that goes around here, and so it's almost done. It's about, I'm going to say, 3/4 of the way done, 4/5 of the way done, almost done. So there's a little ways to go, but it's almost done. And I still have to work on the Prairie Schooler Santa for my younger sister, and I have a bunch of other projects. And part of it is, I can't decide what I want to do, or for a couple of them, but yeah. And then I do want to spend some time experimenting with dyeing. I still have the avocado skins and pits to work with, and I want to see if adding some other color to the avocado dye will change the color a little bit or something. It's my understanding, or I mean, I have seen tutorials on avocado dyeing, and it's kind of a pinkish color that comes out of it. And I'm not really into pink so much. It's not one of my favorite colors. Not that there's anything. I don't have anything against it, but it's not a color that my eye is naturally drawn to. I'm more into greens and blues, and especially blues and blacks and whatever in my personal life. It's a black t-shirt over there. But anyway, blues are what usually catches my eye. And when it comes to like reds, for instance, I like more like darker reds, like plums and maroons and purples even, and things like that. So I like sort of darker colors. But so I do want to experiment though with the avocado skins and all that. I just want to see if maybe I can add something in to the avocado skin dye coloring to maybe change the color a little bit. Uh, I I'm watching all kinds of tutorials to see what's out there, and I may have to, I don't know, make a trip to the grocery store or something. We'll see. Um, but I'm still experimenting with dyeing. Because what the heck? Why not? Um, and also with the idea of like, I hadn't added anything to the coffee or tea dyeing that I've done before, but I know that in some cases uh, people use mordants, of some kind. But it's my understanding that avocado pits are naturally like a mordant or whatever. So those help, I guess, help the dye to cling to the fabric better or something like that. So um, uh, we'll see how that comes out. Oh, and I meant to I meant to say this 2 weeks ago. Um, but this is one of my birthday presents. This watch. Um, my mom bought it for me 2 weeks ago, I believe. Um, and I hadn't worn it. I didn't wear it from the right after she bought it because that was the day that I did a quick video and I said I was going to go run some errands with my sister right afterwards. So and one of the errands was to go buy pennies where I bought this watch. Where my mother bought it, I should say, because I didn't have the right owner's manual that goes with it. I had a generic one for every other watch they make, I guess. But this one is solar powered battery, so that you don't have to change the batteries, which is really great. Uh, this little Seiko, this is the third watch I've had in since 93 or 93 or 94. I had a Seiko watch, and this is now the Seiko commercial. But I had the Seiko watch for that my mother gave me in 93 or 94. I was in grad school. She gave it to me for my birthday. One of the 2 years I was in grad school. And I had it, I remember talking to a student of mine. I had a bassoon student when I lived in Little Rock in 90. I had her in 94 or 95, something like that. It was around that time because I remember telling her that I'd had the watch for 10 or 11 years. So it was in the early 90s, 94 or 95 that that I was talking about it. And around that time, I ended up replacing that watch because I had cracked the crystal and various things, and so it wasn't keeping time very well. So the watch that I replaced it with was essentially the same watch, just updated, and but it was the same kind of watch, the same look to it. And that watch I had from that time, from 94 or 5, whatever, until this year. So 23 years, something like that. And the only reason I replaced it, and I would not have, because I really liked it. But the crystal was kind of scuffed up, and it was a little hard to read, and it was supposed to be glow in the dark like this one is, but it really kind of no longer glowed in the dark, and because this crystal was so scuffed up, the day and date, it has a day and date on it. It was really hard to read, and this one I can actually read without my glasses, which is which is remarkable. And I one little thing about my glasses. I don't wear them very often. I think I've done a couple of videos with my glasses on, but I usually don't wear them until I start cross stitching, or I'll stick them in my purse like if I'm going out, so that because sometimes um, it's easier to read things like prices at the store. Um, there's less squinting involved if I have my glasses on. um, or like if I go to the movies or something like that. But walking around in everyday life, I don't wear them. But anyway, I put them on when I'm cross stitching, and the other night, yesterday sometime, I think it was yesterday. Yesterday was Friday, so I guess Thursday night, I had been stitching, and I was going to go to sleep. I was ready to go to sleep, and I was going to put them on my nightstand, and I thought, the cats will probably mess with them. Oh, one of my cats likes to jump up on the nightstand, and so I thought, I should put them somewhere else. But I didn't remember actually putting them away. I thought I had left them on the nightstand after all. And so when I went to stitch yesterday, I was looking all over for my glasses, and they weren't on the nightstand. And I thought, oh my God, the cats knocked them off onto the floor. But so I was kind of, looking around on the floor, and they weren't in any of the obvious places. So I thought, well, they're probably under the bed or whatever. And I remembered that I had done that before. I had looked for my glasses everywhere under the bed and everything else, and it turns out they were there on the bed. I had tucked them. They were tucked off to the side somewhere. So I looked all around on the bed, and I looked in. I had two project bags going. I have an Evertote project bag, and I kind of stuck my hand in there, didn't find them, and I have a tote bag that my sister made for me. This one that has some Ziploc bags in it that have all my some of my Christmas projects in there, and it wasn't in there. I pulled the bags out and I emptied it out, and I felt it wasn't in there. And so I was searching all over the place, and I finally bit the bullet and got down on my hands and knees, which is not an easy thing for me since my stroke that I had 2 years ago. But I bit the bullet and got down on my hands and knees and looked under the bed and didn't see my glasses anywhere. I thought, where in the heck could they be? And so then at one point, and my knee was really killing me by now, my right knee. But I went back and looked in the Evertote bag, and that's okay. I'm gonna go through here a little bit more. I didn't want to pull everything out, but I put my hand in like just one. Okay, they're not between these two things, and they're not between these two things. And I felt around, and I finally found them. And of course, they were in the Evertote bag because it was, I could zip it closed, and my glasses were not going to fall out, and they were safer in there. And they were so safe that I couldn't find them. But fortunately, I found them. They were not on the floor getting scuffed up, and they were not falling out, and the cats had not played with them, and I had unkindly accused the cats for no reason. So, but anyway, so my glasses are safe and sound, and the stitching can go on. One of the reasons that my knee hurts so much when I get down on the floor like that is that my right knee was actually my good knee once upon a time. My left knee was the one that was more sensitive, and my right knee was my good knee, right? So then I was at we were doing a symphony concert at this college, and we had rehearsal, and then they were going to feed us dinner, and then we had the concert after that. And so they were feeding us dinner at their university cafeteria, that the dorms use. And coming out of the cafeteria, I tripped over the sidewalk had an uneven section in it, and I tripped over that unevenness, and I fell and landed on my right knee. And it was more embarrassing than anything else. I fell on my knee and then flat on my stomach, or whatever, in front of everybody. And my symphony colleagues, so they helped me up, and they're like, oh, somebody said, oh, we should get some ice, and, do you need to go to the doctor? And I'm like, I don't have time for any of that. I have to change clothes and do the concert, and so I went, and I could tell when I was changing clothes, there's something wrong with my knee. There's something, terribly wrong with my knee. And we did the concert, and then I had to drive. We were down in Arkadelphia, which is an hour and a half from Little Rock, and I had to drive back to Hot Springs, which is an hour from Little Rock, because I was playing in the handbell choir for my church, and we had festival that weekend, so I had to drive up there. This was a Friday night that the orchestra concert was. Saturday was the handbell choir thing. We had a little adjudication kind of thing, and so our handbell choir was supposed to play on Saturday. So I had to drive up and do that. And anyway, so by the time, my knee was killing me. it was all very swollen and very painful, during that whole weekend. But it went down a little bit, and anyway, so that was in like 2013. I did that, and uh, in 2014, I finally had laparoscopic surgery to repair this. I had torn the meniscus in my knee, and so I had this surgery and some physical therapy, and my knee was kind of fine, but it was a little uh, sore. But anyway, so the last couple of days it was kind of bugging me, and then when I got down on the floor yesterday, my knees just been more painful. So I think I have to go to the doctor for it after all. I was just kind of like, it was, as long as I didn't do certain things, like bending in a certain way or whatever, it was pretty much okay. But then the last few days it's been bugging me a little bit, so I think I'm gonna have to uh, um, see the doctor about it, or maybe I don't know if I need another X-ray, or I don't know what I need for it, but it hurts a lot. So, but it's been bugging me the last few days. But yeah, getting down on the floor, crawling around on my knees, it did not help it any. So anyway, enough of my physical woes. Sorry about that. But so I'm going to continue on the tomato dame. If anybody has any one suggestions, help, I would appreciate it. I might have to ask for more help with that. Um, I can't wait to start on the tomato dame, but I don't want to start her out of the blue because I don't want to make a counting mistake. So I have to do the handle of the wagon before I do her, because to connect, so I don't have to that far to count. There's less of a chance of making a mistake. And there's another tomato that goes in the ground down here, um, that I have to do, but I have to do the wheels first before I can do that, just so I have something to uh, to reference when I count out to do that. But anyway, so I just wanted to do one more shot of the tomato dame project, because it's so nice. It's coming along very well. Um, I think that's it. I'm hoping to. It's the end of November already, and I have lots of things to work on, lots of ambition to work on for Christmas, and um, yeah. So I think that's it. Wish me luck for all the Christmas things I'm doing, and the dying thing experiments that I'm doing. Anyway, so that's probably gonna be it. Uh, um, yeah, that's it. Once again, I'm Elizabeth Martinez, phantastitches, and thanks for watching, and keep stitching. Thanks. Bye.